Hey soul family, welcome back. I'm your girl Zeta, the Twisted Healer. On this channel, we focus on what lies beneath and transforming from the inside out. So if that's what you're into and you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming content. I want you to join these conversations, join the community, the tribe, and we can all heal and grow together. Okay, so in this video, I wanted to give a part 2 to cutting off toxic family, especially toxic parents, because today would make my 1 year update. So let's get into it, okay? First of all, I was very surprised by the huge response that I got from a lot of you on the first video on that part 1. I want to say I knew a lot of us were going through this, but to know that there are so many that are going through the exact same thing as me is just mind-blowing. But the beautiful thing is that this life school is all about that. It's all about growing and learning so that we can become stronger, better souls out here on this earth and do God's work and God's service. So I'm happy that God has a lot of us soldiers, a lot of us healers out here learning and growing so that we can continue to teach and help evolution move forward. So I'm thankful for that. Okay. But I do want to go ahead and give you guys my 1 year update on what is happening now. So that video was actually 7 months ago. And at that point, I hadn't talked to my mom for about 4 months at that point. I'm going to be honest with you. What took for me and my mother to come together was a tragic situation. My grandmother, who is like my mother, she is very dear to me, with me being her first grandchild, first granddaughter, her first experience being a grandmother. Me and her are very, very close. And everyone knows that. Everyone in the family knows that I'm very, very close to my grandmother. But she fell very ill, very sick, and was in the hospital for months. And so I was calling my grandmother every day, checking on her, calling other family members, checking on her. And so my family has this group chat, and we were all keeping in touch about my grandma. And I noticed that some of the responses over time, I didn't know like what they were responding to. So I didn't pay it much attention, but I started to realize that they were responding to my mom. However, I had blocked my mom on all platforms and in my phone, and so I didn't know that they were responding to her. So I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months after while my grandmother was in the hospital, my dad called and was saying that he needed help with something, maybe just to get me on the phone, but he needed help with something. And he was saying that my mom really wanted to talk to me. She was just in a very deep emotional state, and she really wanted to talk to me. So I said, okay, fine. I heard her out. We had a conversation, and I will say I was very surprised. We actually had a really good first conversation after a long time. And she did seem to have shown some change, a little bit of growth. And long story short, in that conversation, she was saying things like she realized that, she realized like what's more important versus, the petty stuff that she was coming at me with, or that, the issues that we had together. At the end of the day, she's like, you're still my daughter, whatever. So that was actually a really good conversation. And so I thought that we would have some growth going forward. That is not so much the case. I will say we have talked since then, and it's still the same. It's still the same. But what I realized is that at this stage, a lot of our parents are stuck in their ways. and they're not going to change. So it's like either we have the choice to accept them and embrace them and just take them in small doses, or just leave it alone altogether. So for now, the place that we're in is just me taking her in small doses. We may have a conversation and then we won't talk for a few weeks. And so I realize that we do better that way. So at least I don't have to cut her off. I do know that she's in a little more of a fragile state and really kind of needing me. And so me being the light worker, healer that I am, I still want to give her some type of positive energy. But when I notice that the conversation is going the wrong way, going down the gossip lane, that's when we have to cut it short. And I say, Mom, okay, well, yeah, if they wanted me to know those things, then they would tell me themselves. And if it continues, I just say, well, Mom, let me call you back. And then we may not talk because I need to restore my energy. I need to regroup and regain my mind and my clarity and protect myself. And so I have to only take her in small doses at this time. So the beautiful thing is that I didn't have to cut her off forever, and well, at this point. And unfortunately, like I said, it did take something tragic in order to bring us back together. Now, the tragedy has been resolved. God has worked his miracle. My grandmother is out of the hospital and doing much, much better. So I am very grateful for that. And now we have something to celebrate together and something to be happy about together. So for that, I am extremely happy. But I do have to keep in mind that she is still in that low vibrational state. And so, like I said, small doses. So I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear your update, especially those of you who commented in the beginning of the video. What's the update? What's going on? Have you talked to your parents? Have you been able to have a little progress, a little reconciliation, or are you still standing on that bridge, that that new tower where you killed the old tower and you on that new tower? What's going on now today? All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned in. We're going to continue to have these conversations. I will be uploading at least twice a week going forward, so look forward to that. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I did start a new Instagram, The Twisted Healer. I also have new merch that will be coming soon. So a lot of big changes, a lot of good stuff coming up. And yeah, I'm so glad that I have you guys here with me. Let's keep growing this family. Keep on sharing our stories and our testimonies and helping each other heal through these traumas that we have gone through, so that we can be our best versions of ourselves, the best beings that we can be while we're here on this planet. All right, and until the next video, love you guys. Take care.